Welcome back to the channel, Upcyclers. Today we are doing a tag reveal. So this would be the fourth one I've done total. This is only a 10 card order, so it should go fairly quick. I've got some interesting stuff for you. A couple of these cards, I actually did video when I cracked them and examined them because I was questioning the PSA grade. 5 out of these 10 are cards that I did crack out of other slabs, so it'll be really interesting to compare. And then one of them I actually already sold before I've even opened the box because, if you don't know, Tag provides high resolution photos and scans of the cards in the slabs after the fact that are available on the website. So before they even showed up in the mail, I could download those photos. And one of the cards in here actually is already sold. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and open up the box and get set up here, and we'll go through the cards real quick. Again, if you enjoy this kind of content, thanks again for coming back to the channel. We try to put up something new, usually in the grading card space, every Friday morning at 11 Pacific. I'm also on eBay and Instagram under the same name, the San Diego Upcycler. Please like, comment, subscribe. We're getting so close to the subscriber mark that will allow us to monetize the channel, and I can collect literally tens of cents off these videos, which will be just fantastic. I look forward to the free cup of ramen in a few months. All right, let's get to work. If this is your first time seeing tag slabs, they do come in these little packages like you're opening a pack of cards. I'm going to try to open them the right way so we see the back first. All right, cool. Let's see what this one is. Okay. This is a Manny Machado. This is a Topps Chrome Refractor rookie. There's actually two of these in here. One of them was just a raw card that I bought online, this one. Then the other one is something I cracked out. So anyway, without further ado, this one got a 10. That's fantastic. A 963 to be specific. So we can zoom in there and read that. Yeah, so also they do a 1,000-point scale. And then if you scan that QR code, which if I zoom in enough and hold still, you might be able to do with your phone off my video, and that will take you to a page that gives you all kinds of details about the card and explains exactly what the defects were that knocked it down from the theoretical perfect 1,000 down to the 963. Anything above a 950 is considered a 10. Anything above a 990 is considered a pristine 10. So that is an excellent start. Very happy with that PC card. All right, moving on. Okay, this is the other Machado. Here we go. So, it was originally a PSA 9. I couldn't see a thing wrong with it. So this is a 2013 Topps Chrome Machado Refractor rookie card. I've given it a pretty thorough look over and careful wipe down before starting the camera. And I don't see anything. The centering on this is excellent. Corners are good. The edges are good. Maybe I need something with that corner. I mean, I'm staring right at it and I can't even tell. That is so close. I think that's fine. I think it's worth a retry. Now, when I say retry, I'm not necessarily going to send this all back to PSA. I may send it to another grading company. I might send it to Tag. where they can give me a report if they see anything wrong with it. At least then I'll know. So I guess we'll go from there. Wrong with it. So I decided to crack it out and send it into these guys, and it got a 946, about as close to a 10 as you can get without getting a 10. There is a tiny bit of off centering. You'll see that this side is a little fatter than that side. And there are a couple of very, very tiny surface marks. Other than that, this card was perfect. So it's one of those things where on any given day, any Topps employee, it was probably truly a 50-50 chance if this got a 9 or a 10. And you know what? For 19 bucks, since I don't need two of them, this is the one I'm going to keep for my personal collection. I very well might crack this and send this back to PSA again, because I have a feeling if I send this one or two more times to PSA, it's going to eventually come back a 10. And at, 20 bucks every time you pull the proverbial PSA slot machine, if this one comes back at 10, that's going to add another 150 bucks to the value of the card. So even if I've got to do it 2 or 3 times, you're going to come out ahead in the long run. But I don't know. Maybe I'll just sell it like this. I'm not sure what I'll do with it. But anyway, there it is. Okay, here's another one that I cracked out. I honestly can't remember at this point. Okay, here's another one that we cracked and resubbed. I'm going to go ahead and insert the footage of reviewing this card and cracking it now. All right, next up we're going to take a look at, for me, what is at least the best image of all the Bobby Witt Jr. rookie cards. This one also had me a bit perplexed. Get the light to go over it. So what we're looking for here are scratches, essentially, in the clear coat or the gloss that goes on top of the card. And shining the light over it like this is by far the easiest way to get these things, those kind of things to jump out at you. I'm not seeing anything. Centering looks good. I mean, maybe just the tiniest bit heavy on the right, but certainly within 60-40. Well within that. That might even be good enough for like an SGC or BGS, who's at least states that they do 55-45. Who knows how subjective that is from person to person. Don't see any issues with any of the corners or edges. So yeah, that one looks good to me. I'm going to give it a quick, careful wipe down with the microfiber cloth, pack it up to get it regraded. So that's the deal with how and why we sent it in. So let's see how it did. It started out as a 9 and it came back as an 8.5. Now a strong 8.5 and 888. So really what that's telling me is, these guys agree with each other. PSA and Tag agree, so they both probably did a good job and are right. And the flaws that are there with this card are just really hard to see with the naked eye. So I am perfectly okay with that grade. This I already have this card in a 10, so I don't need 2 of them, so I probably will go ahead and sell that one. All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay. Here is one that we bought in a BGS 9, and I did that because it was, I guess you'd call it a BGS 9 plus, a 925, if you will, because it had 2 9.5s. So you can see that 2 9.5s. There we go, and 2 9s as the subgrade. So it was 1/2 point on one subgrade away from being a Gem Mint 9.5. and I got it for cheaper than a raw card. So I thought it was worth the gamble, and thought we'd see what Tag had to say about it. And Tag effectively agreed. They came back at 935, 9. This is one of those cards similar to that Manny we looked at a minute ago that, really genuinely probably is in that gray area. It probably, and I very well may, as an experiment, send this and the Manny back into PSA and see what happens, because this is a similar deal. This in a tag 9 versus this in a PSA 10, it's probably triple the value. Even if I've got to spend $20 2 or 3 times to get PSA to, the slot machine to come up with 3 10s instead of 3 9s, then so be it. I may just end up doing that. All right. Moving right along. Oh, this is the first one of the, vintage cards. This has been an adventure, and if you watch my other videos, you have seen these cards before. This started out life as an SGC 10. Derek Jeter gold. You see right there, it has the top's gold. So it's not the regular one, it's the gold one. I decided to send it to, or attempted to cross it over to PSA. PSA gave it a 9. So PSA thought one thing, SGC thought another thing, so I definitely didn't want to leave it in the 9. So I decided I would see what Tag had to say about it. And Tag gave it an 8.5. Now, admittedly, a strong 8.5 at 873. So it's pretty close to them giving it a 9. So we've now had 3 different grading card companies look at this card, and we've come back with a 10. Although technically I didn't have SGC looked at it. Somebody did. I bought it that way. But it's been a very interesting experiment. A little bit of an expensive experiment, and go ahead and blast me in the comments below for being a dumbass and basically just lighting money on fire. But, again, this is a hobby, and, I'm creating this content, so, I have to do some experiments every once in a while, and you got to roll the dice, and sometimes you roll snake eyes, and this definitely falls into that category. I'd be curious now at this point. I'm actually thinking about cracking it and sending it back to SGC to see what they give it. That would be really interesting. Or maybe I'll crack it and send it back to PSA. Get it back in a 9. Who knows? Maybe they'll give it a 7 at that point. Anyway, very interesting experiment. So I'm going to set that aside because I have no idea what I'm going to do with that one yet. All right, we got 5 more to go. There's one more in here, and here it is, that has been previously graded. Like I said, if you watch my other videos, I believe there's one called I Learned a Valuable Lesson from Derek Jeter today that had this card and the previous one in it being discussed. So back in time, this was a BGS 9. This is the famous SP foil, and I got a really good deal on it because BGS 9s are really cheap. And I decided to roll the dice and send it to PSA. Really, I just was hoping it would cross over to a 9, because crossing over to a 9 PSA, at the time, I want to say it was well over $1,000 card, maybe even $2,000 at the time, earlier this year. And so I sent it in with the same crossover order. And if you saw that video, it came back with the 6, which was very disappointing. And so at that point, I said, okay, I want to know who's right here, or get another opinion on it. So I sent it over to Tag, and it got an 862. So Tag definitely more agreed with BGS. So I think at this point, I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm thinking about just keeping it for my personal collection. I might crack it and give PSA another run at it. I might try SGC. SG seems to be a little kinder on, cards from this era. I don't know. Please put your comments below. What do you think I should do with this one? I'm not really a Derek Jeter collector, but I do have individual cards of some, iconic players and things like this that would fit right into. I'm not a Yankee fan. If you watch much of my content, I'm a big Padres guy. I'm in San Diego. So anyway, I'm genuinely curious. What do you think? And really interesting question is, what is the true grade on this card? Right? Like, I know it's somewhat subjective and different companies have different opinions, but like, how nice of a condition card is this? I mean, if you look at it, the corners are good, the centering is good, there's no chipping on it. I really thought it deserved a 9. So I was really disappointed with that PSA grade. I don't know, it might be interesting at this point to try it over at SGC, but I could also keep it as well. Anyway, please drop a comment below and let me know what you think. I'm going to put that in the I don't know what to do with it pile yet. All right, moving right along. We'll go a little quicker. Here's the one that actually sold already, to my surprise. I've mentioned it before, and I will mention it again. I am a huge fan of the Stadium Club Gold. Well, Stadium Club in general, but especially these Goldman. I think it might be the most undervalued, underappreciated parallel in the baseball card hobby. These things are rare. If you do the math, there's only a few hundred of them, and they're gorgeous, and we love gold. So anyway, it got an 8. And this was just a raw card that I sent in. This wasn't anything that I cracked out. This one already sold, and so I actually need to ship that out today, so I'm going to set it to the side. All right, we got 3 more. Now this one is another one. I sent 2 of these in. This one, I figured I would keep the better one. I guess I've just tipped it off that it's better than an 8. It got a 9. This one I will be keeping for my personal collection, because I do have a little Bobby Witt Jr. collection going. In fact, here, I'll take a second. I'm going to flex a little bit. This one did, I bought this already slab like this, and yeah, it just came in recently. So I happen to have it over to the right on my desk, just out of frame. Anyway, so that's a keeper. This one is also a keeper, going in the Bobby. This is the famous short print from Topps Chrome that they forgot to put in the hobby boxes, and they had to send out the silver packs and all that nonsense. And then after all that, they decided to put the same card in the Topps, not Cosmic, the other one, boxes. So, but then they flipped where the Topps Chrome and the rookie card logo was Sonic in the Topps Sonic boxes to make it even more complicated. But this is still a very rare and cool card. And this is something I will definitely be adding into my personal collection, adding it into the Bobby stuff. And it got a 9. Now it's a 927, whereas, by the way, this one was a 942. So that was really close to getting a 10. So this one, I might even crack and try SGC or PSA to try to get that 10. I'm not sure. But this one, 927, what that's telling me is it's probably a relative coin flip whether this would have gotten a 10 at PSA, which, if I was looking to sell it, would probably be a good thing to do, because PSA cards just sell for way more money. Even though they really shouldn't. They just do. I don't get to make the rules. I just try to play within the rules. All right, now here's probably the coolest card, for me at least, from the set. This is a X-Fractor of 2003 Topps Finest Ken Griffey Jr. It is, in fact, numbered to 99. There you go. Very neat card. And it got a 969/10. This is a very low pop card in a 10, regardless of what grading company you look at. And anytime some of these older, numbered Griffey cards 10 up, the value skyrockets on these things. I think I only paid probably less than $100 for this card raw, and it looks so good I wanted to get it graded. So yeah, probably crushed it on this one, but it doesn't really matter what it's worth, because I'm keeping this because I have probably my biggest and favorite collection is my Ken Griffey Jr. 90s and 2000s inserts and parallel stuff. So anyway, that's it. Thanks very much for staying with me for this whole time. If you made it to the end of the video, congrats, you are a legend. Please do let me know what you think about all this below. I I wish you a great rest of your day, and we will see you next week. Take care. Bye.